crazy work. Am I back in like Jen? What? Now why my screen ain't showing? Oh shit, I know why. I'm tripping. I hope I could get it back. If I can't get it back, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. Okay, the Hum and Dash and Trader live. Get that money, bro. Trying to finish this Jordan debate. Here it go. Let me see. Well, where they at? Bruh. I gotta do this shit again. Hmm? Right there, yup. Oh, that's the easiest way. There we go. I don't see the verification code. I'm trying to see my chat, y'all. I don't know if I'm. It say I'm streaming though. Yeah, I got my phone. Fuck it, let me do it over here. Oh yeah, they over here getting off. Oh, there we go. See, on my chat it worked, but not on my stats. I swear, if I'm back live, I apologize. I apologize. You know what? Let me close them bitches out and then reopen. This the one I want right here. There you go. Yeah, I should have been did that, dumbass dude. Back at it like a crack addict. Happy New Year's Eve, Sonny. Hey, when I first started my live, my computer died on me, so I'm restarting it. That's why y'all heard me fucking up. You know I'm old. Don't do me like that. But yeah, I seen you out there with them roosters. What you was doing? I was live in your live. Man, I've been online for a couple hours. I was already over 100 views, crypto. Matter of fact, how you doing, crypto? You good? I'm gonna throw some. I just got a couple of patties and a couple of hot links. Tomorrow, I was really doing. Man, I really did it like this. Hold on, that's the wrong one. Cause I wanted to put my pit up on the porch. So if I go live tomorrow, I got the ribs, I got the chicken, I got like 2 slabs of ribs, I got a bag of leg quarters, but I'm gonna chop them to legs and thighs. Then I went and bought a big ass bag of chicken wings. And I think I'm gonna fold them like how your mama used to fold the tail behind the thing and then fry them. I think I'm gonna do them like that. Yeah, we got you gonna hear the gunfire really at shit about 11:59, 11:57. Gonna let off for a long time. Right now, it's just the regular shit. And when my shit shut off, I heard my loudest one yet. Cause you know out here everything legal. Anything blow it, you could blow up with what you want. That shit legal. Yeah, I seen that, Sonny. We was on there watching. Got you, for sure. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me go use this restroom. I've been taking shots back to back. And honestly, I apologize, Crypto. I should have texted you and let you know I was on. Swear to God, I was on. The live ain't even processed yet. I was in the middle of talking, my fucking computer died, and I got the cord right here, y'all. You see the orange dot? I didn't have it plugged in. I didn't have it plugged in. But this is what we was watching, y'all. Hold on. And I'm finna bag it up a little bit. It was gonna debunk the Hey, what's up, Junebug? I didn't see if Junebug was in here. Yeah, that's the Mac. I've been running that bitch all day, and it just died on me. I got the cord. It wasn't plugged in, bro. Swear to God. Oh shit! I turned it around to my screen. There we go. It wasn't plugged in. I had to plug it in. I swear I had to plug it in real quick. I'm like, oh shit. I was waiting on Doc to hit me with they got him, but I wasn't playing no music. They probably was gonna say it for the Jordan shit. But on that one video I did, Jordan made it. I'm gonna go back to here, y'all. I'm gonna go use the restroom.
It's a bit more complicated.
Y'all check it out real quick.
How do you statistically evaluate two players who played in different eras under different rules at different positions? One way of doing it is to simply look at the 8 traditional statistics of basketball. Points, assists, rebounds, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and turnovers. And we'll focus on per game stats rather than cumulative stats, since cumulative stats such as total career points and total career assists really speak to longevity, which is already its own category of the GOAT analysis. Per game stats, on the other hand, is more of an apples to apples comparison. So looking at the 8 traditional stats, we see that Jordan leads LeBron in 5 of them: points per game, steals per game, blocks per game, free throw percentage, and fewer turnovers. LeBron leads in the other 3: assists per game, rebounds per game, and field goal percentage. But that's a pretty simplistic way of looking at statistics. What if we instead turn to analytics? Probably the most well-known analytic stat is player efficiency rating, or PER for short. This metric was created by respected basketball analyst John Hollinger to give an overall rating to a player's performance based on traditional stats like the ones we just mentioned. Jordan has led the league in PER 7 times, LeBron 6 times. Jordan has finished top 3 in PER 10 times, LeBron 9 times. In fact, Jordan has the highest career PER in both the regular season and the playoffs. Another popular analytics stat is win shares. Jordan has led the league in win shares 8 times, LeBron 5 times. Jordan has finished top 3 in win shares 11 times, LeBron 6 times. And when it comes to win shares per 48 minutes, Jordan has the highest career rating in both the regular season and the playoffs. What about box plus minus? Until recently, LeBron was actually ahead of Jordan in career box plus minus. But after the 2017 season gave Russell Westbrook the greatest single-season box plus minus in history by a wide margin, the architect of box plus minus realized that the stat was fundamentally flawed. So he made some changes to improve its formula.
We're having a commercial.
As a result, Michael Jordan now has the highest career box plus minus in both the regular season and the playoffs. And lastly, what about value over replacement player, which on its face seems to favor LeBron James? Well, value over replacement player is a cumulative stat, and as previously noted, cumulative stats speak more longevity than they do game-to-game dominance. That said, according to value over replacement player, Jordan owns 6 of the 9 greatest individual seasons ever played. And on a per-game basis, MJ's career rating in value over replacement player is the highest of all time in
Good looking out, Junebug. Appreciate that. Let me see if I could go let me see if my eyes work. Dashing with Yosef, Damian Fox, MG6, Frenchie, and Tucker. Happy New Year's, everybody. What time is it? My watch finna die. Look like, oh, I'm at 7%. 7:37. So that means it's 8:37 New York time, right? Yeah, this what we was watching, man. This is what we was watching right here,
When discussing the
y'all.
GOAT, Nick Wright is fond of asking this question.
The aliens come down. You have one game to save humanity. Who's your first pick in the history of the world?
Meet Voto AI, the photo editing software that...
You trying to see if you can get your own order at Walmart?
Hardly anyone
all you got to do is go sit up there and wait on it.
Win shares,
if they send you something else, just decline it.
Or game score. And why should you? This is basketball, not Goodwill Hunting. So let's go back to the traditional stats that we all know and understand.
I don't even know where I'm at. I can't even bring the other one up.
What do I mean by context?
That shit kind of
Well, some positions are simply better than others at racking up certain stats. Let's take rebounding as an example.
Okay.
In a vacuum, if we simply compare the number of rebounds per game of Brook Lopez and Jason Kidd, we might think that Lopez was the better rebounder. The truth is, relative to their positions, Lopez is statistically one of the worst rebounding centers in NBA history, whereas Kidd is statistically one of the best rebounding guards in NBA history. But even a poor rebounding center can grab more rebounds than a great rebounding guard solely by virtue of their roles on the court. So it makes sense that, to understand the context of a player's stats, we should compare them to the respective positions that they played. When comparing LeBron James to the other small forwards who have played at least 500 NBA games, this is where he ranks. Overall, that's pretty impressive. Now let's see how Jordan compares to all shooting guards who have played at least 500 NBA games. As good as LeBron is compared to other small forwards, Jordan is on another level when compared to other shooting guards. He's darn near the top of every major statistical category, and there isn't a single category where LeBron is better than MJ relative to his position, other than assists. So to sum up statistics, whether comparing traditional stats or analytics, and especially when judging these players in the context of the
a lot of
positions
people
they
don't
play,
know, though.
Jordan has a noticeable edge over LeBron. As such, we have to give the check mark to Jordan. And that takes us to the last category in our GOAT analysis, the eye test. And to be clear, by eye test, I don't mean which of these players is bigger, faster, or jumps higher. None of that is relevant unless we're having a track and field competition. And frankly, if physical measurables mattered, then George Murasan would be in the GOAT conversation. No, what I mean by the eye test is, if you sat an average basketball fan in front of a TV to watch a player in action, what would he notice that the player is and is not great at? Thankfully, I happen to be an average basketball fan, and I've had the privilege of watching both LeBron and Jordan during their playing days. So unlike a lot of my fellow YouTubers, I haven't merely relied on highlight videos. Here's what my eyes told me when I saw Michael Jordan play, particularly during his playing days with the Chicago Bulls. He was the best offensive player in the game, he was arguably the best defensive player in the game, he had the best mid-range game, he was the best finisher at the rim.
Uber one time for the one time.
Which is incredible considering most players who dominated the post were big men. He was widely considered the most clutch player in the game.
Be able to hear.
He was regarded by opponents as the fiercest competitor on the court. He was regarded by teammates as the hardest worker in practice.
So when I'm over there,
and when all was said and done, amongst the other stars of his generation, he was the greatest winner.
You ever seen a motherfucker react to a video
of the world, and to be the best at any one of those things is pretty
and be barbecuing at the same time? I had to do that
for the fact that we saw Michael Jordan do it. And when it comes to the GOAT debate, that's the biggest hurdle facing LeBron. He's basically being compared to a guy who was great at everything and practically had no weaknesses. Seriously,
LeBron a gangster.
What's the worst
but he can't fuck with
Michael Jordan's game? Probably that he wasn't a very good three-point shooter.
Yeah,
it's incredible considering most players who dominated the post were big men. He was widely considered the most clutch player in the game. He was regarded by opponents as the fiercest competitor on the court. He was regarded by teammates as the hardest worker in practice. And when all was said and done, amongst the other stars of his generation, he was the greatest winner. Now, when you're playing against the elite athletes of the world, to be the best at any one of those things is pretty remarkable. But to be the best at all of them, I tell you it's impossible. But for the fact that we saw Michael Jordan do it. And when it comes to the GOAT debate, that's the biggest hurdle facing LeBron. He's basically being compared to a guy who was great at everything
they got
and
this
practically
one that
had
got
no weaknesses.
It's a roll. It's an 800.
Seriously, judging by the eye test, what's the worst thing you could say about Michael Jordan's game? Probably that he wasn't a very good three-point shooter. Jordan shot 33% from beyond the arc in an era when the average player also shot 33%. So when it came to three-point shooting, he wasn't good, he wasn't bad, he was just average. But remember that Michael played in an age when the three-point shot wasn't a big part of the game. During Jordan's years, teams averaged only 9.5 three-point attempts per game, and Michael himself attempted less than 2 threes per game. And if being an average three-point shooter is a weakness of Michael's game, well, then we also have to call it a weakness of LeBron's game. The difference is that LeBron plays in an era where the three-point shot is a huge part of the game. During the years in which LeBron played, teams attempted on average over 21 threes per game, and LeBron himself averaged 4.3 three-point attempts per game, or 2.5 times as many as Jordan. Despite the increased emphasis on threes, LeBron's career shooting percentage from beyond the arc is only a hair better than Jordan, at 34%. And it's actually slightly below his peers, who averaged 35% from three during his era. But to reiterate, being an average three-point shooter was by far the worst part of MJ's game. For LeBron, it's not even close. LeBron, in fact, has 4 major weaknesses as a basketball player, each of which is readily apparent to anyone who has actually watched him play.
I can't
First,
even hear.
He's not a good free throw shooter. For his career, LeBron has shot around 73.5% from the free throw line, which is pretty poor for a player who handles the ball as much as he does.
Come on, LeBron, you can't be flopping, bro.
That at the end of games, LeBron shies away from driving to the basket because he's afraid of being sent to the line. I don't know whether that's true, but what I do know is that the odds of LeBron hitting 2 consecutive free throws is statistically not much better than a coin flip. Jordan, on the other hand, shot a solid 83.5% from the free throw line during his career. And MJ never shied away from contact at the end of games.
Hell nah.
LeBron's
That's why he won so many defensive. Look at this. This nigga's
he's
a
had
hoe.
some years where he was elite defensively, which is evidenced by his numerous selections to the NBA's all-defensive team. But he's also had several years where he's practically been a liability on the defensive end.
He just let him go dumb.
MJ, who during his Bulls days was a consistently elite defender. In fact, Jordan is the only player to rank in the top 5 amongst all guards in both steals per game and blocks per game for his career. Additionally, Michael led his position in defensive win shares practically every year that he played for the Bulls, an incredible 10 times. LeBron, comparatively, has led his position in defensive win shares on just 4 occasions, and in 5 of his last 7 seasons, he didn't even crack the top 10 at his position
he
in
just
stopped. Win shares. Now,
he couldn't fuck with KD. I think KD better than LeBron. That's my opinion.
So he can have more energy on offense. And we can
That's just my opinion. Don't kill me,
but
y'all.
resting on defense is not something Michael Jordan was ever accused of doing. Heck, even as a 40-year-old, he was busting his tail on the defensive end.
Yep. Give me
but
that. Snatch block. 2-hand snatch block.
LeBron supporters will argue that he can guard positions 1 through 5 on the court, such as when he guarded Derrick Rose for stretches in the 2011 playoffs. But LeBron's guarding the opposing team's point guard or center isn't something that happens very often. In fact, during his career, LeBron has spent less than 5% of his total minutes guarding the opposing players 1 or 5. So the versatility argument is highly exaggerated. And look, when it comes to versatility, Hometown Buffet may have a more versatile menu than Spago. That doesn't make it a better restaurant.
Coin flip LeBron.
LeBron's third weakness is that he's
you need
not
to watch this whole skit.
And this is a pretty significant flaw.
If you think LeBron the GOAT, this is what you need to watch. And the only reason I'm in the back of the camera like this because I want the pit to
whether
smoke.
On the playground, at the YMCA, or in the NBA. Now, some people will contend that LeBron is actually a better shooter than Jordan because he has a better career field goal percentage. And yes, LeBron's career field goal percentage is 50.4% compared to Jordan's 49.7%. But recall what I said about placing stats into proper context. To help us understand context when it comes to shooting, allow me to introduce DeAndre Jordan and Tyson Chandler. We all know that DeAndre and Tyson
he frail as fuck, but all around game,
they were also 2 of the greatest shooters of all time.
I always thought when I seen LeBron Durant come out, I was like, oh yeah, he better than LeBron.
Effective field goal percentage, true shooting percentage. Both of these guys rank near the top in NBA history.
Think about it. He could have easily gained some weight
both DeAndre Jordan
and kept that speed and just
on dunks, layups, and putbacks, which are extremely high percentage shots. Well, guess what? So does LeBron James.
Cereal milk. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that out.
The shot that LeBron James has taken the most has been within 0 to 3 feet from the basket. In other words,
we need to start meeting at the border.
More than 1 of every 3 of LeBron's shots has been within this point-blank range, which is aided by his playing in an era where it's been relatively easy to get to the rim, particularly when compared to the physical era in which Jordan played. And just like every other player, LeBron is really effective from 0 to 3 feet, hitting over
what's his name?
Of these
Dawkins?
Shots. But how does LeBron fare from outside
Or are you talking about they GOAT right now?
According to basketballreference.com, LeBron's shooting percentage
what you talking about, Jay?
3 feet is 37.5%. It's even poorer in the playoffs where he shoots 35.9%. And it gets even worse in close and late situations. In the last 2 minutes of games where the score is within 5 points, LeBron hits only 31.7% of his jumpers. Look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that these numbers aren't very good, which is probably why in the 2013 finals, the Spurs' defensive strategy against the Heat was to basically dare LeBron James to shoot. And keep in mind, this was against LeBron in his prime. Can you imagine an opposing coach using a similar strategy against MJ? Now, LeBron actually credits the Spurs for forcing him to work on his jump shot, but it's not as if his results have gotten much better since then. Here's LeBron's shooting percentage.
And when he came to the Warriors, I was like, what? We finna win 19 straight.
Well, I'll give him this.
But his head got...
For comparison, consider that
bigger than his body.
Michael Jordan's career.
And what happened when your head bigger than your body?
Jordan
you
shot
fall.
Close to 42%
I can't hold this motherfucker up.
While
I'm too
bony.
Not
great. It means that even as a 40-year-old shell of his former self, Jordan was still a better shooter, a far better shooter than LeBron James.
That's crazy.
Unfortunately, Basketball Reference doesn't have advanced shooting metrics from Michael's Bulls days, when he was a significantly more efficient scorer. But few would argue that Michael was anything but a lethal jump shooter when he was wearing red and black. When it comes to shooting, all of us can recall practicing shots on the blacktop, counting down 3, 2, 1 before launching a shot at the
Jordan.
Winner. Well, if you were pretending to be LeBron James, you'd brick almost 2/3 of the time.
You would never say James.
Actually, that's
hell
not true. If you were
when the time going down and you go to shoot,
it would be much, much worse. And that
or
gets
just
to the
even
last major weakness of
when
LeBron's
you go to the neighborhood park,
or more accurately, lack of performance.
Jordan, every time you shoot, Jordan.
Remember when people were praising LeBron?
I ain't never heard nobody say,
in the playoffs 2 years ago. They used these stats to claim that LeBron was better in the clutch than Jordan. But look at these numbers carefully. What stands out to you? How about this? People were using a sample size of less than 1 shot per season to make the case that LeBron was more clutch than Jordan. That would be the equivalent of polling just 100 people in the country to try to predict the winner of the next presidential election. So let's use more
What's up, Cat
stats,
Man?
Here's a situation that's often used to determine a player's clutchness. 5 seconds to go in the fourth quarter or overtime, and your team needs a bucket to either win or tie the game.
And you can't get it.
The age-old question, who do you want taking the last shot with the game on the line?
Who, Jordan?
It turns out that in the regular season and playoffs combined, LeBron has taken 94 such shots.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good sample size.
I want Jordan.
And how many of those 94 shots has LeBron made?
If I'm playing basketball and the game depended on it, I want Jordan or Horry.
Let me repeat that. 20%.
Look at the man.
Guys, that's not bad in the clutch. That's atrocious.
Got Jordan laughing
in the
at
same
it.
situation shot roughly 50%.
Damn.
Yes, that's right. Jordan's performance under pressure was the same as it was throughout the rest of the game.
Damn.
And that, my friends, is the definition of clutch. So there you go. When it comes to the eye test, our eyes tell us that one player, Michael Jordan, is great at everything and has practically no weaknesses. And the other player, LeBron James, while also having a ton of strengths, has several obvious flaws to his game. And when all is said and done, after analyzing the 5 key factors of being the GOAT, Jordan gets 4 check marks to LeBron's 1, making this GOAT debate,
watch that
not
too.
much of a debate at all.
They gotta be on here.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that LeBron James is a bad player.
Come on.
He's a phenomenal player.
All his assists
Personally,
either went to Scottie Pippen
Rushmore, along with Jordan,
or Kerr
Kareem,
or
Will
Paxson,
Chamberlain, and
depending
Bill
on which one was in.
He's just not Michael
Because Scottie
Jordan.
was in with him.
And just to underscore how good
but
MJ
Kerr
was,
and Paxson
ignore LeBron and Jordan
had that point guard.
And focus on the other three players highlighted here.
So as
Kareem
they switched,
and Bill
he
Russell.
rocked with it.
Most would agree that these are the three greatest centers in NBA history, and each of them has a strong case to justify his standing among basketball royalty.
Okay.
Wilt is an all-time great because he was an offensive force of nature, and he holds a ton of NBA records.
Yeah.
Russell is in the conversation because he was a dominant defender and a perennial champion.
Yeah. Kareem
also led his team to numerous titles, and in terms of individual awards and accolades, was the most decorated.
Hey, y'all seen that
Not to mention, he
documentary?
Had the most unguardable shot. Now imagine a center that had all the best qualities from these three titans. A player like that would be the basketball equivalent of Thanos. Now add to that player the highest level of intangible attributes, such as a tireless work ethic, unmatched killer instinct, and an ability to deliver in the clutch. And now you'd essentially be looking at Thanos with all of the Infinity Stones, and no one would question whether this player was the greatest of all time. But the truth is, we don't have to imagine such a player. That player already existed. He just happened to be a shooting guard, not a center. When you think about it, Michael Jordan is the real-life version of an overpowered video game character.
Yeah, Jordan on 2K.
He had all the qualities you look for in a superstar athlete, and he had it in spades. He's basically Babe Ruth, if Babe Ruth played defense like Willie Mays. And that's why, even in comparison to the other all-time greats, he is truly in a class of his own. Simply put, he's the GOAT.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I love Pippen. At one time, I ain't gonna lie, at one time, Jordan was so yada I mean, I used to be like, man, he get away with a lot of that shit because of Pippen. I think Pippen is a point forward. Like Pippen, I like Pippen, bro. He helped that team a lot. But Jordan was the greatest. And he built his team. He didn't try to go to a stacked up team. You feel me? He didn't try to go to a stacked up team.
Thanks for watching. This was my first video, but if you want me to make more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like what you saw, please click the like button below and share this video with your friends. And leave a comment to give you...
Yeah, he was like a point guard, but a forward. A point forward. Pippen. Yep. I know y'all hear them bombs. That shit's so legal out here. That shit crazy. I ain't got it on. I'm like, why that shit ain't logging on? Hey, we was watching that on that brother Tonio, man. Rest in peace to them. His damn, man, they out here tripping. That's what I'm talking about. Nah, DoorDash on New Year's Eve, nope. Hell nah. Maybe on the 2nd. Let me find something. What? Let's see. Let me check these codes, y'all.
So bad. Whether you're a professional contractor or simply take pride in handling your own home repairs.
Definition of bag to me is having a barrage of moves to get to the cup or score the ball, period. To say Michael Jordan has a limited bag, but he was arguably the best scorer.
Shouts up to Tonio. His people that passed away, R.I.P. Damn.
All right, bro, we talking about putting the ball in the bucket.
They actually went on record and said Michael Jordan couldn't really score. And you really need to sit with that for a second. This is the same man who owns the highest scoring average in NBA history. 10 scoring titles are stamped on his career, 6 championships came with 6 finals MVPs, and yet in 2024, former NBA players jumped on podcasts claiming his offensive game was limited. What happened next exploded into one of the angriest basketball debates in years, with legends who actually guarded Jordan speaking up just to shut this talk down. And it all kicked off on a podcast called No Fouls Given.
So Jordan had no bag?
I didn't say no bag. I just don't think
Kobe and Jordan aren't bag guys.
1-2 dribble pull-ups.
Kobe had a bag. Kobe.
So the other day, P, we want to pull some quotes from you, and your quote was that you thought Michael Jordan had a very limited bag. I would like you to expand on that.
Well, in today's...
You talking about in today's game?
In today's game.
Okay, so you
really
analyze... Hold on, let me set it up. So you analyzing Michael Jordan's game in today's game.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Not in
so
his,
that needs
his
to be
game.
said. That needs to be said.
Yeah, so...
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of taken out.
But in the context. We just put it in. We put it in the bar now.
Paul Pierce casually lit the match when he said Jordan had a very limited bag. Pierce tried to frame it around today's game, arguing that compared to modern guards, Jordan's moves were basic and nothing special. But that's not how the internet heard it at all. The clip went viral within hours, and instead of cooling off, more former players jumped in and poured gas on the fire. Danny Green stepped into the chaos and somehow made it worse, claiming Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has more of a bag than Jordan ever did.
The less athleticism you have, the more things you need to add to do the same thing as someone who's very athletic. He has to have the up and unders and stuff like this, but MJ's bag came in a whole different form. And when we talk about bags, we only think dribbling moves.
Shai is not athletic. He has to have all that. They're right. Mike had that one gift. Jump over.
I agree that he has a deeper bag. Jordan's bag, it was very elite. Your aerial movement is a bag. Your 360 moving, all this is considered a bag when he was getting ready to shoot. It was aerial. So it's a very different bag. So it's really kind of hard to compare.
But when it comes to an offensive bag compared to a guy like SGA,
Then Chandler Parsons followed with another wild take, saying James Harden's offensive package was deeper than anything Jordan ever had. 3 former NBA players, 3 outrageous takes, and suddenly fans everywhere were arguing whether the greatest scorer ever actually knew how to score. The basketball world split fast once those clips spread. Younger fans raised on YouTube highlights started backing Pierce because to them, a bag means crossovers, step backs, and pounding the ball forever before shooting. Older fans and real NBA legends saw it completely differently. And to them, Pierce exposed everything broken about how modern fans judge greatness.
I think when you look at guys like Tracy, Vince, Ray, Iverson, like, dog, them guys would be unstoppable in this era. You know, they didn't settle for threes. They was getting 50, 60 points with like 2 threes.
And you think those guys you just named had a deeper bag than Mike?
Vince, I think, had a deeper bag than Mike because he can do everything Mike can do, and his threes was more.
We're talking about Michael Jordan, too.
Yeah,
man.
Michael Jordan, his bag was athletic bag. Like, nobody had a better athletic bag. Like, in the air, he did too many things.
Gilbert Arenas was one of the first to clap back with a breakdown. He cut straight to the point. Arenas admitted something important first. Players like Kyrie Irving do have deeper dribble packages than Jordan, and that part is technically true. But then he explained why none of that actually matters. The less athletic you are, the more moves you need just to get the same result as someone who's naturally dominant. Jordan never needed 15 dribbles because his physical edge and mental control already owned everyone on the floor. He could walk into any building with 2 moves and still drop 40 like it was light work.
The definition of bag to me is having a barrage of moves to get to the cup or score the ball, period. To say Michael Jordan has a limited bag, but he was arguably the best scorer in our history is what the fuck is the definition of a bag then? And then if I'm being honest,
it's like so many different ways
to get this off, man. These niggas today don't even know how to score. A nigga have a move and then bring it back and remix it, and it's a bunch of that, bro. We talking about putting the ball in the bucket.
That's what they call a bag, though.
Bro, I'm talking about the essence of scoring the ball.
Yeah.
MJ, his bag was 1, 2, 3 pull up, 1 dribble pull up, getting by you dunking the ball, 3 ball, whatever the fuck, spin, post shit, however you want it, Lord. Like,
Garnett
crazy on
I think a bag is based around your handles.
Man, what are you talking about?
That's what the internet feels like it is, and that's why I wanted you to set the criteria.
Listen, man,
I think a bag they say is
all
based
these
around your
niggas who
handles.
got a nigga and beat him, and then remix it, bring it back. To me, that's incompetence.
That's not a limited bag. That's peak efficiency at the highest level. Gilbert Arenas kept hammering this point online, making sure people understood the gap between entertainment and effectiveness. Somewhere along the line, modern fans mixed those two up and started believing that dribbling the ball 50 times actually meant better scoring. It doesn't. Scoring is about results, period. And nobody in basketball history delivered better results than Michael Jordan. Once you really break down what Jordan did on the court, the whole limited bag argument collapses fast. Start with the fadeaway jumper Jordan learned from 12-time All-Star Elvin Hayes and turned into the most unstoppable weapon the game has ever seen.
As basketball players get smarter, they become more efficient. That's really what it is. Allen Iverson used to be at the top of the key doing all of this. That's what he did when he first came into the league. Then he learned, then the Iverson cut came, and they basically ran him across the middle, and they go, either go or stop. So he didn't have to dance anymore, became more efficient. MJ, you go back and watch MJ, there's the famous clip of him going between his legs, him stopping and dropping when he was doing 61 in the Garden. 61 against the Boston Celtics. Y'all seen the video where he's doing this back in '85 and stopping, wobbling. He realized he didn't have to burn that much energy.
The footwork was clean, the shoulder turn precise, the body bump just enough to create space, and the release came at the peak where nobody could touch it. By the time he reached his final seasons with the Washington Wizards, Jordan was 38 and 39 years old. His athleticism wasn't what it used to be, and he wasn't flying to the rim anymore. But he still shot an absurd...
People who know how to score the ball. They don't play with food. Like, if you can get to the cup and dunk the ball, you dunk it every time, right? So if you can, you do that. All right, cool. If he cuts you off, you can cross him over, boom, right? A bag is being able to be in traffic and make a a traffic decision, and boom, you make it right there. You know, I faced up, boom, he went middle, I saw him middle, I get it. So, and then on top of it, Michael Jordan was one of the more aggressive offensive players. Oh, man, can't nobody guard that motherfucker today. Mike would grab your face if you tried to jump before him, bro. This nigga would grab your arm. Man, listen, man, I'm sorry. I respect every era, and I'm going to keep respecting every era. And y'all need to go back and watch some of that young Mike Jordan. Y'all need to go watch that Mike Jordan who went up against Larry Bird. You know what I'm talking about? That went up against the Pistons. And with physical play, by the way. And was downhill. And when he needed a three, he could hit a three. And he hit game winners. And he came back from 15 down in the fourth. And man, what? And then he was a goon. He was a real nigga. You fucked up in here, boy. Y'all better put some respect on Mike's name. Boy, stop saying goofy shit, man. That's goofy as hell. Mike Jordan ain't got a bag, P?
That same mid-range game Pierce laughed at was actually Jordan's deadliest weapon. 1 or 2 dribbles straight to his spot. No wasted motion, no wasted energy. Modern players need 15 dribbles to create space Jordan made with 2. And that's not Jordan being limited. That's Jordan being smarter. Jordan's post-game tells a whole different story about how his scoring evolved after coming back from baseball. That comeback forced a full reset. He bulked up to around 215 pounds and became flat-out dominant with his back to the basket. This wasn't the same guy who left the league. This was an upgraded scorer with a brand new layer to his game.
Michael Jordan wasn't out there dribbling 1,000 times, you know, to get to the spot. He'd get to a spot and raise. You know, I see it all the time. It's like, you know, I'll be on social media, it's like LeBron has no bag. It's like, I'm sitting over here with
what is that?
LeBron has no bag, and I'm sitting like at 50 billion points.
At 40 years old, Jordan became the only player in NBA history to average over 20 points per game at that age. And that record still stands by itself. Three-point shooting was never about volume for him like it is today, where guards jack up 8 threes a night. Still, he shot 42% from deep in a season, proving he could hit from range whenever the moment demanded it. Then came the finals shrug game. Jordan drilled 6 threes in the first half alone, setting a finals record at the time, then looked over and shrugged like even he was surprised.
No, nobody said he didn't have no bag.
Y'all said he had a limited bag.
Because he didn't need a bag. He was so
definition of bag.
He was so athletic and so much better that he could just one dribble pull up on you.
Definition of bag.
I think it has something to do with like you got to take 20 dribbles and get the moves off and score. That's what this era is. I can care less about a bag. I ain't saying not having a bag ain't good.
Man, you got to have a bag. If you scoring anything over 20,000, 30,000, bro, you got to have a bag. You understand? Because they're going to put the best stopper on you.
Did Shaq have a bag?
Shaq had a bag? Shaq was one all dunks. Shaq had a jump hook, a left.
Dream had a bag.
Fuck out of here. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Shaq dunked the ball majority of the time?
I forgot. My bad, y'all. One love, one thug. I forgot that was coming. I gotta take care of something. My bad, y'all. Yeah, but Jordan the greatest.